Hi everybody. Okay, this is video 650 for me. I knew I was gonna reach it today, and I wanted to do something a little different, but still a little in my wheelhouse. So, um, I'm gonna talk about Elaine Stritch for this video. Um, I think I've talked about her before, and I'm gonna try to not repeat myself, um, but I'm gonna give you another perspective. Okay, so um, as you all probably know, I like comedy a lot. I like music a lot, comedy, and just people being themselves. I enjoy that because I like knowing that I'm not the only one who's going through something. The other night, yesterday night, actually, I said I was stressed out, and I was. I let situations take me to the point of being stressed out to the point where I couldn't think straight. And I know you're not supposed to do that, but sometimes you can't help it. And I did meditate, but kind of after the fact, and it did help me out. But you shouldn't ever let yourself get to that point. But comedy is a way to help me through that because I can somehow take away everything I'm thinking about and just focus on the movie or the special, whatever it happens to be, and for an hour or however long the movie is, my mind goes there instead of focusing on whatever the problem was. And usually by the end of the movie or whatever, I'm able to find a way through what I was dealing with or what I am dealing with at the time. So that's my method of coping. So, um, okay, Lane Stritch. Well, to be honest, she began in Broadway musicals, and she has a saying that I kind of take on that women have four stages of life when you're talking about movies or TV or anything like that. Okay, the beginning stage is ingenue, young, and then the next was sex pot, you know, um, that stage, and then the mother stage, and the grandmother stage, grandmother, aunt, whatever. And most people, I've heard this said in interviews and everything, that most people, women, get out before the grandma stage. I know I've said that before. Um, but she was unlike any other performer, I think, because she just didn't care what people thought about her. And she would do any role no matter what. And a lot of you, I don't know if you know this or not, but she played Jack's mother, and Jack was Alec Baldwin on 30 Rock. She played his mother. And so imagine the two of them riffing off each other. It must have been amazing. And Tina Fey is probably is and was a very good friend of hers. Um, and yeah, I mean, you don't have that level of friends without having a lifetime of work to back you up. Um, to be honest, I first became aware of her through sitcoms and things. And so I loved her timing, and she was completely off the cuff, and she didn't care what people thought. She would curse, which was a bad thing. I mean, it's still a bad thing. I can cite two examples of when people curse and it was like, oh my god, I can't believe they did that. Okay, George Carlin, several little words, and Elaine Stritch in her comedy. And no, she's not the first one to curse, and she's not going to be the last one. But I think it's because people, and especially men, I think, for the most part, have this idea in their head of how a woman should be or act. And the idea that a nice looking, demure female would curse is beyond their expectations. And generally, it takes them back a few steps until they get to know you and they realize that you're not like that. It's just a part of your comedy, or you might say some things every now and again, but it doesn't mean that you're totally dirty. But then again, I don't think that anyone should either apologize or change their comedy or whatever it is they do to fit into some mold for other people. So, because if I believed that, I'd apologize for pretty much everything I said, because I will tell you what I really think, and most people, some people, can't handle that. I've even experienced that in my lifetime, a lot. So, her biggest album or gig or whatever was a comedy special at Liberty. Like I said, she did musical numbers, and it was her biggest thing because everyone wanted to see it, and it amazed her. It was so big, she won an Emmy for that year for that special. So, yeah. Yeah, and she was doing gigs up until the time when she really couldn't do them anymore. And I'm not really sure when exactly she quit, because she passed away in 2014. So, you know, but I'm pretty sure she was doing something up until probably the very end. Because I remember I watched, and I actually bought the DVD of the last, it wasn't even a special, it was like a retrospective. It said, shoot me, instead of just shoot me. So shoot me. And she was 80 something, 85, 86. And she said, somebody asked her, when are you going to retire? And she said, never. So that gives you an idea of her, well, her work ethic and her love for what she was doing. So there's my little thing about comedy and things. And I put comedy because I knew I was going to maybe bring up some other people. So I didn't want to make it specific on one person. So that's why I did that. Okay, guys.